Tax and accounting issues for Chapter 13. A contentious issue legally is that of transfer pricing. It's actually a very important issue, so much so that it does show up at least once on the exam for the CISG. Transfer pricing is the amount that one subsidiary pays to another subsidiary of the same company to acquire a product or a subcomponent of a product. So case in point, many years ago, a company that I worked for here in California had a French subsidiary, and we acquired heat shields for large electronic equipment from the French subsidiary, and we had to pay for those. So legally, with transfer pricing, you are required to pay what would be a reasonable price if you had acquired that product from another company. What they want to avoid is the use or misuse of transfer pricing to favor oneself in the tax realm. Okay, another important financial consideration is that of duty drawback. And duty drawback is the opportunity to get duties back or get tariffs back on items that you've brought into the country to be reworked for export. Another important issue is that of FTZs, or foreign trade zones. You can see there are foreign trade zones throughout the United States. These are areas that are within the borders of the United States, but for financial purposes, for tariff purposes, they're considered outside the United States. So you can bring a product into a foreign trade zone, let's say in California, do some work on that, and then re-export the product without having to deal with customs the way that you would upon first entry, as if you were merely importing the product to keep it within the United States. One last issue is that of VAT, or value added tax, which is not the same thing as a tariff, but it's important to be aware of the VAT in Europe because, as you can see in the diagram, it increases the price of the final product because a value added tax is added at each step of the process in which value is added to the product. The IC DISC is a tax savings mechanism used usually by closely held companies.